Hi, my name is Dan Rosenberger, Manufacturer's Rep with Echo Incorporated, and welcome to the series on using and maintaining a gas two-cycle blower. In this video, we're going to be covering how to start your gas two-cycle blower from a cold start and a warm start. Next, we want to talk about the safety considerations you want to use while operating your blower. Next, we want to talk about operational concerns, proper running of the equipment, and storage. In order to get started, you'll need very little tools. You're going to need leather gloves for operation, eye protection, and hearing protection. Before you get started, you're going to want to pick the right blower. There's many blowers on the market, but today we've got a handheld blower and a backpack blower, both with their different applications. Both blowers are two-stroke engine oils, gas-powered, that are going to take a 50-to-1 gas mixture. Like all power equipment, you want to thoroughly read the owner's manual before operation. You want to make sure to have your gloves, your eye protection, and your hearing protection before you get started. Before we begin, let me tell you a little bit about Echo Incorporated. We're a leading outdoor power equipment manufacturer that's been in the business for more than 30 years. We sell products to a wide range of people, from discerning homeowners all the way up to professional landscapers. Let's get started by reviewing all the safety equipment you're going to need for running your gas engine blower. Hi, I'm Dan with Echo Incorporated on the video series of how to use and maintain your gas leaf blower. Today we're going to talk about some of the safety equipment that you're going to need before you start operation. First, you need a good pair of safety glasses to protect your eyes from flying debris. Next, you're going to need hearing protection to protect your ears from the noise of the gas blower. Next, you're going to need gloves to give you a good grip on the machine and protect your hands from flying debris. You'll notice that I have on work boots and a long sleeve shirt, nothing that's loose. Anything loose is going to get sucked into the blower housing, which you don't want. This particular unit, the muffler's mounted on the outside, pointed away from your body. You always want to keep that pointed away from you with the exhaust fumes going away from you. On a backpack model, the engine's mounted to the rear, so you want to be conscious on where your body is, not rubbing up against the house, a tree, or a limb. Now let's go to the garage, mix our oil, and I'll show you how to start your gas blower. Hi, I'm Dan with Echo Incorporated, and today our video is going to be part of using and maintaining a gas leaf blower. So before we get started, we need to fuel our gas blower. There's a couple things we need before we get started. We need gloves to protect our hands from the fuel, and we need eye protection in case we have any kind of spillage. So now we're ready to mix our gas fuel mixture. You're going to need a gas tank, fuel, and two-stroke oil. In this case, we have a 2-gallon gas can and 2.6-ounce bottles of two-stroke oil. So you want to fill your gas tank up halfway. Add your two-stroke oil. There's one bottle. We'll add one more. I'm going to put the cap on, shake it up so it mixes thoroughly. So now we've added enough fuel to make our 2-gallon 50-to-1 mix. Now we're ready to fuel the machine. I'm going to take my gas cap off, insert my funnel, and begin to fill the machine. In this particular model, the gas tank is translucent, so you're able to tell how full the gas tank is. You never want to overfill the machine and have the possibility of a spill. So now I'm going to put my gas tank cap back on, making sure not to over-tighten that. And now we're ready to go outside so I can show you the correct starting procedure for cold start and a warm start. Now that we've got our gas and oil mixed, we're outside, and I'm going to explain to you the operating procedure for a cold start and a warm start. A cold start application will be used when you start it for the first time of each day or when you take it out of storage. A cold start is your on-off switch is in the on position, your choke is in the cold start position, and you push the purge valve 5 to 6 times. Now you're ready to start in a cold running application. Pull the recoil twice and it'll sound like it's going to fire. Now we want to move the choke to the run position. Place the blower in the ground again, and it should start on the first or second pull. To turn off your blower, you simply move the on-off switch to the stop position and the engine will quit running. In a warm starting procedure, you're going to want to put your switch to the run position, leave your choke on the run position, not on cold start, and there'll be no need to push the purge valve. Again, you want to place the blower firmly on the ground, and the blower should start on the first or second pull. On a warm running situation, it would be when you put the blower down, you move some brush, you come back, and you start it every few minutes. In this application, it should start on the first or second pull. Again, you use the on-off switch to turn the machine off. So now that we've covered the starting procedures for both cold starting and warm starting for the handheld blower, let's move on to our backpack model. While starting procedures for your handheld blower and backpack blower are the same, the location of the throttle is different. On this particular backpack model, the throttle is located on the hip mount, but the starting procedure is the same. For a cold start, you want to take it off of the start position into run mode. You want to move your choke to the cold start position and push your purge valve 5 to 6 times. Sit the machine firmly on the ground, pull twice, then move your choke position back into run, and the machine should start in the first or second pull. Now that we went through the cold start and warm start procedures, let's actually run the machine and see how it operates. Hi, I'm Dan with Echo Incorporated with the video series How to Use and Maintain Your Gas Blower. So before operation, there's a few things you need to do. You need to clear all obstructions from your yard. You don't want to trip on anything while you're blowing your leaves. Second thing you do is you want to make sure everybody's out of the yard before you begin blowing. Make sure all your pets and children are out of the yard. Next off, you want to check with your local city municipalities to make sure that there's no ordinances for noise or time of use with your gas blower. And third is, you never want to point your blower at anybody. While blowing material, you want to make sure you don't want to blow anything in their face. For more information, visit Echo's website to download a brochure that gives you more regulations and how-to on your gas blower. Now that I've showed you how to start your engine from a cold and warm starting position, let's talk about the operation. You want to use your blower in a side-to-side motion to move the material wherever you want it. On a small job, you want to use a handheld blower which is lightweight and easily maneuverable. On a big job like this, you may consider a backpack model, which is going to give you more performance and more ability to move more leaves. On this specific unit, there's features that are very good for a homeowner. First is the bent tubing, the rotational control. Small blowers have a tendency to move side to side. This feature actually keeps the blower straight, in line with your body, and easily maneuverable. Another feature that gas leaf blowers have are cruise control. Instead of moving the throttle up and down, which will put fatigue on your hand and your arm, you can set the throttle full, leave your hand off, and the trigger will stay full throttle. This is used in long applications to keep moving material and to keep your hand from getting fatigued. So let's get started. I'm going to put my hearing protection on, grab my blower, and get ready to get the job done. Now that we're finished with the operation of your handheld blower, this is a backpack model. It's mounted on a bracket which fits on your back with 2 straps. Padding is against your back, and the engine is separated by metal springs. These metal springs are designed to take out the vibration from the engine to your back. This is controlled by a snake control, throttle up and throttle back. Many advantages of a backpack blower are easy maneuverability, less gyroscopic force while controlling the blower. This is the machine that you want to have while clearing a large open space. Backpack blowers are simple to get on and off. With the straps loose, simply slide your arms through the straps and then tighten. Simply pull the throttle down, put it in the on position, and you're ready to go. Now that we've got our gas blower gassed up and ready to go, I'm going to put my hearing protection on and get ready to blow some leaves. Well, the job's done. This yard took us between 15 and 20 minutes to finish, start to finish. We decided to dispose of the leaves by blowing them to a tarp and dumping the leaves. There's other ways you can dispose of your leaves. You can put them in a bag and take the bags to the side of the road, or you could take and blow the leaves to the side of the road and let the town pick them up. Thirdly, you have an option of buying a product that is a shred and vac. So you're going to suck up the leaves, it's going to break them down, and you're going to get about 12 bags into one bag. So now we're going to talk about routine maintenance and long-term storage of your gas leaf blowers. Hi, I'm Dan with Echo Incorporated. We're here today to talk about using and maintaining your gas leaf blower. Now let's talk about our maintenance that you'll need to take care of your gas leaf blower. So there's three major things that we need to look at. We need to look at fuel, we need to look at spark, and we need to look at air. First thing with fuel. Fuel is only good for about 30 days. So an 89 octane fuel will only be 89 octane for 30 days. So you always want to use fresh fuel. Next thing is your air filter. You want to check your air filter before every use. Here's your air filter. You want to routinely maintain and check this before every use. This is a porous material designed to let air flow through. So it is going to collect dirt. So you never want to directly shoot air from an air compressor on your filter because it'll blow a hole through it. Next thing you want to check is spark. You want to routinely check your spark plug. If it shows sign of distress or aging, you want to replace that. So this plug looks okay. It shows no sign of distress or oiling. So I'm going to put this back in my machine. You want to make sure and consult your owner's manual when putting your plug back in, because you want to put it in at the right torque specifications. If you decide to buy these individual, that's okay. If you'd like to do routine maintenance, you can buy a kit that has the air filter, the spark plug, and the fuel filter all in one kit. So next we're going to talk about the long-term storage of your gas leaf blower. First thing we want to do is remove any fuel that's left in the gas tank. And it's okay to dump that fuel back in your gas can. Go ahead and put your fuel cap back on, start your machine, and let it run until it dies. Now you're ready for long-term storage of your gas engine blower. When it's time to get the blower out for next season, there's a few things you want to check to make sure that your blower's in correct operating procedures. First, you want to go through your gas tank and make sure there's no splits or leaks that you notice. You want to look at your starter rope to make sure it's not frayed or broken. And next you want to check your switches. Make sure they operate smoothly, back and forth. And finally, you want to take a look at the actual tubes and make sure that they're firmly connected and have a tight fit. So with those maintenance tips, you should get season out of season out of your gas leaf blower. So we want to thank you for taking your time with our how-to video with how to properly use and maintain your gas blower. So now it's your turn to get out and tackle your own jobs.